say that we're spreading freedom and democracy in Iraq. Monday we were in New York City marching from the UN to the U.S. mission. I was injured. They tore my rotator cuff. I probably have a concussion because of it. The police arrested me. They punched one of the Iraqi women, and one of the Iraqi women told me, "You say you're spreading freedom and democracy to Iraq, and you guys can't even walk down the street without being harassed by the police." So everybody in America has to stand up and say enough is enough. We want our troops home and we want our country back.
Can you go into more details about your arrest?
Well, I was sitting down and the NYPD dragged me by this arm and probably tore my rotator cuff. I probably have a concussion. I have to have a CAT scan later. They were very brutal. The force was very excessive, and all we were doing was exercising our First Amendment rights to freedom of speech, freedom to peaceably assemble, and our right to petition our government for redress of wrongs. We were trying to deliver a petition to the U.S. mission signed by 72,000 women from 78 different countries calling for an end to the occupation. And we had an appointment, and they locked the doors and arrested 4 of us, and we spent the night in jail.
I know that during the State of the Union you were ejected from the Capitol by the Capitol Police. Were there any other instances that you consider to be excessive use of force?
Well, I was just recovering from those injuries when I got injured by the NYPD. And it's excessive use of force, but it's also excessive use of power. You know, what we're doing is not even against the law. And our country is descending into a state of fascism, where people can't walk down the public streets without being harassed, where mothers who lost their sons in Iraq can't wear a t-shirt without being falsely arrested and abused again by the police. And it's just really, like I said, it's time for America to stand up and to say enough is enough. They're taking away so many of our freedoms. We need to get those back and not let them take any more away from us.
Do you think any of this force would dissuade you in any way from your mission?
It doesn't dissuade me, it just makes me want to work harder. And I'm going to I can't march because my doctor said I can't march, but I'll meet the women back at the White House. And if they say I can't exercise any of my rights as an American, I'll stand up to them again. I just hope they pull me by my left arm and not my right arm.
Well, sorry for your injury, but thank you very much. Appreciate it.
I'm doing a small video too. What if you could go into the Iraqi embassy now and speak to the ambassador? What kind of thing would you say?
I'd just say that ambassadors and people like that are supposed to work diplomatically for peace, and I would urge them to just keep on repeating that the U.S. troops have to get out of Iraq, and it's time to solve the problems peacefully with our words and not with our violence and with our killing.
Okay, so you want them to repeat that?
Over and over and over again, like we keep on repeating our demands for peace over and over and over again. It's time. The people are united. It's time for our leaders to finally do what their people want them to do.
All right. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. Thank you all for being here. This is really wonderful. And I just want to let you know that you are marching in solidarity with thousands of our sisters and brothers all over the world today. People, brave people, smart people, people with integrity and honor who want to say killing is barbaric. We should not still be killing people to solve problems, especially imaginary problems. Imaginary problems caused by our government. And I just want to say to the embassies and the people all over the world, if you're not going to do your jobs and talk us out of problems, why don't you just shut down? If we're going to have a State Department that is an adjunct to the War Department, why don't we just close it down? Or I have an idea, why don't we, the people of the world, stand up to our governments and say enough killing is enough? And why don't we mothers say, no, hell no, you're not going to take any more of our children to kill. You are not. We are not giving you our children to be cannon fodder for the insane, out of control and evil war machine. So let's between our countries and our people. So we won't allow our leaders, and we won't elect, well, we never elected these leaders, but we won't allow leaders to go into power that will misuse us and misuse our children, because we can't rely on our leaders. We can only rely on ourselves, and us women are going to lead this world to peace. I can't march with you. My doctor told me I can't, but I'll meet you at the White House. And if they try to tell me I can't be an American again, I just hope they haul me off by my good arm this time. I love you all, and thank you for being so courageous to be out here today. And while we can still do this in America, let's make sure we do it as much as we can. God bless you all. Thank you.
My message for the blogs is that it's good to blog. It's good to, thank God we have the internet, because we wouldn't know the truth if we didn't. But really it's time to get out in the streets, because our freedoms are being taken away from us. Our rights as Americans, they've hijacked what it means to be an American. It's time to get out in the streets and peacefully stop the fascists who run our country.
Thanks a lot, I really appreciate it.
Thank you.